the My Local Radio special sports presentation of Evanston Red Devil Sports. My Local Radio is leading the way, bringing you more events, highlights, and more athletes than ever before. From the pool to the links to the mat to the track, you'll find them all at mylocalradio.com. Evanston Sports is brought to you by Auto Farm Chevrolet, Dr. McKay Frankum DDS, West Star Printing, T-Bar S Body Shop, The Best Western Dunmar Inn and Legal Tender Restaurants, Hoover Chiropractic, Mountain West Business Solutions, the Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Bureau, Rocky Mountain Yeti, Jen's Life Photography, Evanston Regional Hospital, the Come On in Casper, Rocky Mountain Sign, Bear River Dental, Plains Tire, Uinta County School District Number 1, Ellingford Brothers, and by Freeway Tire. The field is set, the athletes are ready. Now let's take you there with the voice of the Red Devils, ELAN OLLIFF.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Evanston Aquatics Center at Davis Middle School. ELAN OLLIFF here bringing you the action alongside guest commentator Elmo Smith, and we'll hear more from him a little bit later. The 2020 Evanston Invite featuring Evanston, Lyman, Rock Springs, and Kemmer getting started in less than 20 minutes with, of course, the 200 medley relay. And we will talk more about that and set the scene after this on a First Bank of Wyoming presentation of Red Devil Swimming on K9 on mylocalradio.com.
The best live coverage of local sports, weather, local news, and radio classifieds. Plus job listings, fun giveaways, and more. It's all on mylocalradio.com. Watch live as your high school teams clash with their biggest rivals. Listen to the latest from your team's coaches, catch up on local and regional news, and get accurate weather conditions and forecasts. Visit mylocalradio.com, like us on Facebook, and stream it all now.
When do you schedule doctor appointments?
In bed before I fall asleep.
In the car waiting to pick up my kids.
We can even do it after breakfast.
We all lead busy lives. Online appointment scheduling puts you in control. In just 90 seconds, you can make an appointment with a primary care provider or specialist at evanstonanytime.com. Select the day and time most convenient for you. Enter some basic information, and just like that, you're scheduled for care. Schedule appointments for next day and beyond at evanstonanytime.com.
Do you really think you can get a better deal on a vehicle in the city? Poppycock! Rocky Mountain Yeti is hungry for your business and will beat any bona fide deal on any vehicle, or they'll give it to you as a gift. Now that's legendary. Rocky Mountain Yeti Evanston, home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile legendary warranty, where legendary customer service is not a myth.
Receive the best service in the industry when you lease or purchase office equipment from the professional, friendly staff at Mountain West Business Solutions. With a guaranteed quick turnaround time, we will save you money, time, and energy with quality products and customer service that is unmatched in the industry. Serving customers in Wyoming and Utah, Mountain West Business Solutions is a local company with a toll-free number, 866-583-9925. Call us today.
Welcome back to Evanston Aquatic Center at Davis Middle School. ELAN OLLIFF here alongside Elmo Smith. And Mr. Smith, if you could, kind of give us your impressions. You got the heat sheet in front of you, which tells us a little bit about what's going on today. What are your impressions and expectations coming into today's event?
Well, we've got things starting up here right away, but it looks like the Evanston team is still pretty small. They've had several that were unable to compete, but the ones that we've got have some really good seed times. I think we'll see some great swims out of them.
Absolutely. Looking at the one race that I'm kind of taking a peek at myself is that the 200-yard freestyle coming into it. Kira Walk of Lyman with a 2:17.01 seed time. Emery Hamlin with a 2:17.22 seed time. Those are the two fastest seed times in the event. Can you tell us a little bit about seed times and how those can be sometimes a little bit deceiving coming into an event like this?
Well, typically those seed times are the swimmer's very best time, and so that they have a great meet, and then sometimes they falter a little bit for several more. So it doesn't necessarily say that they will get the same time. On the other hand, with a competition like this where you've got some great swimmers right next to you that have nearly the same time, many of them will get a better time than they ever have.
Absolutely. And also, we've done a duel, Evanston versus Lyman, last week. Today we're doing a invite. This is more the true essence of swimming. It's not about the team competition. It's about your team supporting you to individual success. What is the difference in the mindset that a swimmer has in a duel compared to a big invite like this?
Well, typically when there are so many, they look at it as like a warm-up or a preparation for conference or state, and they get a little more psyched and a little more excited, and you'll see an extra effort which you may never have seen before that.
That's Elmo Smith. He's going to be our special guest color commentator for today's event. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll hear from Coach Kendra Acey on a First Bank of Wyoming presentation of Red Devils Swim on mylocalradio.com.
In May of 2019, Uintah County School District Number 1 became the first school district in Wyoming to achieve a certified Level 1 on high reliability schools by the Rosanna Leadership Center. We're focusing on 3 levels. Level 1 is a safe and collaborative culture. Level 2, effective teaching in every classroom. And Level 3 is a guaranteed and viable curriculum. We are certified Level 1 in safe and collaborative culture. This is Superintendent Ryan Thomas. Congratulations to everyone in our district. Keep up the great work.
Uintah County School District Number 1, Pathway to Excellence.
Nothing makes your kid feel like a superstar more than seeing his or her very own Fathead in the stands. Fathead car decals and yard signs are inexpensive and easy to get at Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. Whether it's for the big game or to cheer on the high school band, our children make us proud in so many ways. Show your pride today. Go Red Devils! West Star Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street, Evanston.
This First Bank of Wyoming presentation of Evanston High School Red Devil Sports is also brought to you in part by Jen's Life Photography. Local photography, whether it's family portraits or senior pictures, capture the moment with Jen's Life Photography. An Evanston local with a Utah number, 801-289-6161. And by Freeway Tire. With a friendly and knowledgeable staff, quick and dependable service and great prices come together. Call Freeway Tire at 307-789-8632.
Here with Evanston girls swimming head coach Kendra Acey. Coach Acey, you guys are going to be hosting the 2020 Evanston Invite. We're going to have that live on mylocalradio.com. That's this coming Saturday. Our preview show will start at 9:40 a.m. with first race scheduled at 10 a.m. How excited are you guys to host this event?
It'll be really great. We have had a few other home meets, but this one will be a little bit bigger, and it will be nice to have some teams that have some depth to them and some fast swimmers to get us going to hopefully have somebody qualify. So we're pretty excited for this weekend.
When you look at Evanston swimming, I mean, we talked about it on the Pitchfork this week. It's hard to win a team state title with the little numbers that you have, but individual accolades are always still on the table. Is that how you guys come into every meet, looking for those individual wins and to just kind of operate as each other's support group, or do you guys come in looking to win those team competitions?
We really go in at it at an individual standpoint. I mean, we do things as a team. They start their meets as a team, all together, kind of huddling up, and they support each other as a team. But really, we're looking for those individual successes, basically. The individual successes and relays, of course, is really where we've been able to stand out. So that's kind of what we look forward to.
Last week, we had our very first girls swimming broadcast. It was a duel against Lyman right here in Evanston. What's going to be the difference in environment and the event in general when you look at a duel and then an invite?
The difference, so a duel, the scoring is different than when you have multiple teams. So the scoring will definitely change as far as our team points. And also, it's just nice to have the different schools there, a lot of them, so that you can have the different competition and really see how you stand out compared to other people in the state that potentially will be swimming against at state, you know?
Do you feel like these bigger meets, you talk about the state meet, do you feel like these bigger meets kind of better prepare you guys for what's coming down the road, where it's not a duel, where it is multiple teams, multiple swimmers, you got to keep your eye on more than one person?
Oh, definitely. Though these are more beneficial for preparing for state, for sure. Duels are good in a different aspect, you know, especially as you want different things in the swim season. But overall, these bigger competitions will definitely prepare for state better.
Last week, we got, as I mentioned, we got to do the duel against Lyman. Great performances by Kendall Fernandez in the, I believe it was the butterfly, Taylor Davis in the diving. Who are some swimmers that we need to be watching out for on Saturday?
On Saturday, I would definitely watch Addie again. She's so close to qualifying in backstroke. I think she's got it this time. So Addie is someone to watch. Alyssa Seapos has been getting a personal best time at every single swim meet. So she's another one to watch. And then Kendall Fernandez, she is just following right in her sister's footsteps, and she is a powerhouse in every stroke. So she'll definitely be another one to watch for.
Besides the 100 back, which that'll kind of be another highlight event as we're watching to see if Addie can make it to state. She's every time she's less than a second off and is getting closer and closer and closer. Besides that 100 backstroke race, what are some races we should be keeping an eye on Saturday? If you could name maybe 2 or 3.
To be honest, I don't have all of the events set up yet.
Okay.
For the girls. It's the fall break weekend, so I don't quite know who all will be there.
Okay.
But one that's typically a good one anyways, no matter who is there, is the 50 free, because you can always put somebody in there that will be able to be competitive with everybody else. So 50 free, no matter who's in it, is a good one to pay attention to. Absolutely.
Coach, we're super excited to have the Evanston invite on My Local Radio again. That broadcast this coming Saturday, October 17th. Preview show starts at 9:40 with the first race being the 400 individual medley relay. That's the one where they swim all the strokes in that relay starting at 10 a.m. That's Coach Kendra AC. Coach AC, thank you so much for your time. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Thank you for your time as well. And yeah, pay attention to the broadcast on Saturday. It'll be awesome.
A big thank you to Coach Kendra AC for joining us on the preview show. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we're going to talk with our expert color commentator, Elmo Smith, about what to keep an eye on at the 2020 Evanston Invite on a First Bank of Wyoming presentation of Red Devil Swimming on mylocalradio.com.
America keeps moving, and Auto Farm Chevrolet is here to help you keep rolling. Whether you need a brand new vehicle or service on one you already own, Auto Farm Chevrolet is here to lend a helping hand. Our certified mechanics are knowledgeable, and our sales team takes the time to get to know you and what your needs are. Stop in today, Auto Farm Chevrolet, 624 Front Street, Evanston. Evanston's community-driven dealer.
Hello, this is Dr.
McKay Frankham. Something I've really enjoyed as a dentist over the past 20 years are the lasting friendships that I've formed with many of my patients. My staff is really great, and we try hard to make sure that every patient feels a warm welcome. It doesn't matter if it's your first visit or if you've been with us for years. Every patient is welcome and always appreciated. Our goal is to provide the best dental care possible at reasonable rates. Please call us today to schedule your appointment at 307-789-8910.
Go Red Devils!
Welcome back to Evanston Aquatic Center. Elan Off alongside Elmo Smith. Elmo, we are about 4 minutes away from the start of this one, and it all gets started with the girls' 200-yard medley relay. You've had a little bit more time to go over the heat sheet. Just kind of talk about what we're going to be seeing happen in front of us this morning.
So the basic setup of a swim meet has your slower swimmers are seeded to swim first. That means the last heat of every race is your fastest group. And so you have, it kind of builds up, and so you get faster and faster and faster. And if they've seeded correctly, you will see that happen, as nearly everyone of one race will be faster than the one previous to them. That's the basic way that this is set up. We've got officials that watch everything to make sure that strokes and turns and takeoffs and starts, everything is done correctly, and they are very, very good at that and make sure that everything goes smoothly, and they try really hard not to disqualify anyone. So that if they will, sometimes as they step up to the blocks, they'll actually call them back down and say, whoa, start over again, because they could see that someone was probably going to get a false start. Those are just a couple of things that we look at here. The faster swimmers are always seated in the center of the pool. So lanes 3 and 4 are typically your two fastest. If everything is seated and everyone swims according to their history, you'll see them come in first.
And sometimes it doesn't go that way where they swim according to their history. I mean, that's why we actually do the races. We don't do it on paper. We actually make them get in the pool and do it. And you can see some quite miraculous performances that result in some great upsets.
There's nothing more exciting than to see lanes 1 or 6 win the race. And the crowd will just come alive when they see that kind of an effort.
It looks like we are about ready to get started. It's going to be the 2020 Evanston Invite featuring Lyman, Kemmer, Evanston, and Rock Springs. Elan Off alongside Elmo Smith, bringing you the action live from the Evanston Aquatic Center in Davis Middle School on a beautiful Saturday morning. Elmo, looking at the lane assignments and looking at the heat sheet, we talked about that 50-yard freestyle event is going to be one to watch. We've got 5 heats of that, and in a race where a slow time is around 31, 32 seconds, that's going to fly by, and it's one of those kind of blink and you miss it. As a swim fan, what race are you most excited to see every time you come to a meet?
I love those fast ones. You roll through them so quickly that it's just exciting to see one and then see the next one and then see the next one. That 50 free is always good that way.
Absolutely. We're going to turn it over to the national anthem. When we get back, we'll get started here at Evanston Aquatic Center.
Twilight stars gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous
ready to get started here at the 2020 Evanston Invite. And first event will be the 200-yard medley relay. Elmo, tell us about that one.
Well, first of all, this is the one that doesn't get seeded the way the other races are. The relays, each team will be assigned a lane. So you'll see Evanston in lane 4, should be in lane 4 every time, and that will be their assignment. We have Lyman in lanes 1 and 2, and what's that? Kemmer in 5th and Rock Springs in 3rd and 6th. So.
And this will be one of those ones right now with the fastest seed time. It's the Rock Springs girls with the 2:02 flat, and then the Evanston girls with the 2:04.42, Lyman with a 2:07.78. Let's talk about the Evanston A team. They'll be led by Addie Fernandez. She'll swim the butterfly portion of this. Or actually, no, the backstroke portion. I always get the relay and the IM a little mixed up. It'll go backstroke and then breaststroke butterfly and
back
freestyle.
Breast, fly free, yes.
So Emily Sawyer will be swimming the breaststroke, the sophomore for Evanston. Kendall Fernandez, the sister of Addie Fernandez, will swim the butterfly, and Frankie Hales, the freshman, will be swimming the freestyle for Evanston. A senior, sophomore, and 2 freshmen on the blocks for Evanston's A team in this 200-yard medley relay. I want to draw your attention right now to lane 1, which is the lane farthest to your right on mylocalradio.com. Keep an eye on Ryland Maxfield. That swimmer does not have use of her legs, so the fact that she's able to come out here and participate is just absolutely phenomenal.
That's not unusual for swimming. Swimming has always allowed anyone to come in and compete, regardless of how they are. It's very touching, actually, some of the races that we see.
Absolutely. And there will be team scores, but that's really not the whole point of an event like this. It's to get your best times and to get your best swimmers kind of figured out for state, because in order to qualify for state, you don't have to win a number of races. You have to come in under a predetermined time, and then and then you can only compete in 2 individual events at the state meet. So that also brings in the strategy portion for each coach as we are underway with the 200-yard medley relay. In the backstroke, in lane 4 for Evanston, Addie Fernandez. And right now it looks like lane 3, Rock Springs' Kim Robinson with a good lead.
We saw Kim Robinson in some other meets, and she has one of the most beautiful backstrokes I've seen. She is going to do really well this year.
Rock Springs with the 28.61 at the first leg there in first place. Second place is Evanston Relay, Kemmer Relay A, and third place is Rock Springs Relay B. In the breaststroke now for Evanston, that is Emily Sawyer, the sophomore, trying to close down the gap and get Evanston back in the top 3, but still Rock Springs in the lead with Kylie Walker, the junior. Ryland Maxfield is finishing up the backstroke leg for Lyman B team. And they'll tag in Jill Huntsman going in for Rock Springs as they've built up a pretty good lead in the butterfly. That's Chloe Butcher. Evanston now sends in Kendall Fernandez. She's been a good little butterflyer for Evanston this year.
She's got a very smooth stroke. She flows through the water very well. That oscillating motion of the breaststroke is really kind of hard to master, and she's obviously got a good stroke there.
Rock Springs will be in the lead going into the final leg, sending in Leah Mosier, the junior, in for the freestyle part, but a good swim by Kendall Fernandez has put Evanston in second place as they put in Frankie Hales. But right on their tail is the Kemmer A team as Nadia Runyon tags in Mackenzie Tusher.
And Rock Springs B team. We've got 3 teams right there that are neck and neck.
So the win will be for Rock Springs A as Leah Mosier glides in to win the event, but it's going to be a battle for second. Look at this, lane 6, Rock Springs B team. It looks like they're going to edge out the Kemmer A team for second place, and they do. Great final leg there by Shelby Copeland. And coming in third place is Kemmer's Tyler Thatcher. Fourth place, Evanston's relay, and fifth place will be Lyman Relay A, as Relay B gets ready to finish up. Impressive swim by the Rock Springs A team, really from the get-go. From the time that Kim Abby Robinson jumped in for Rock Springs, it was not really in doubt, as her backstroke was just too strong. As we now see Lyman's Morgan Kurtz finish, and let's go ahead and show you the results for the 200 medley relay. As you can see, the win taken by Rock Springs Relay A. And we're going to fix this just a little bit so you can see the whole thing at the bottom. That'll now take us to the 200-yard freestyle event. And heat 1 of 2, we've got Lyman's Elise Adams in lane 2, Evanston Kendall Fernandez in lane 3, Kemmer's Adrian Dearden in lane 4, and Aliana Simmons of Lyman in lane 5.
So Kendall just swam. She swam a great race there, her leg of the relay. She did get a little bit of a break here, but she should be well warmed up and ready to go for this one.
200-yard freestyle, so it's going to be 8 lengths of the pool, 4 laps, meaning a lap would be completed when they come back to the start. In this heat, the fastest seed time does belong to Kendall Fernandez at a 2:39.10. State qualifying time for 4A is 2:14.50, and for 3A, 2:22.50. As we're getting the blocks ready, these 4 young women getting ready to take off. Real quick, Elmo, tell us a little bit about what is key to winning in the 200-yard freestyle.
Well, for one thing, one of the things that coaches have told kids for years is you can actually fly through the air faster than you can swim through the water, which means the takeoff is key. There are some coaches claim you can gain a half a second to a full second just by improving your start right off the block there. So we'll look for a long, shallow dive and come up very streamlined and trying to get right into their stroke.
Underway in the 200-yard freestyle, and decent start by Fernandez. She was under the water for a while and took that streamline as long as she could, and she does take an early lead. Kendall Fernandez won the 100-yard butterfly at our last broadcast, the Lyman and Evanston duel, and right now her sister has been the star for Evanston swimming for a while. It looks like Kendall's ready to take that mantle after Addie graduates this year.
Well, she's got a beautiful freestyle stroke too, and a great turn. That first turn was really good. She actually pulled ahead just on her turn itself.
She's in first place, followed by Kemmer's Adrian Dearden, and a tie battle for third between Lyman's Aliana Simmons and Elise Adams. And Fernandez just stretching that lead out as she's about to hit the halfway on, coming home to the halfway mark.
So the third and fourth look like they're almost exactly tied.
You might give it a little bit to Elise Adams over in lane 2. That is the furthest lane swimming on your right on mylocalradio.com. But Kendall Fernandez at the halfway point, a 1:14.22. Again, her seed time, 2:39.10. She's looking to best that by a while.
She did have a great first lap. We'll see if she can hold on to that pace. She's really given a good effort there.
Continue to stretch the lead, and now we're seeing Elise Adams of Lyman start to pull away from her teammate Aliana Simmons for third place. So it looks like Fernandez, Dearden, Adams, and Simmons here in lane 1. This one, my coach would always call this one kind of the warm-up heat or the JV heat, because it's a good way for swimmers to get experience, and then would always call the last one the varsity heat, because that is where you put your big guns, and that's where we're going to see probably the stars on both teams from these.
It looks like Fernandez is ready to get into that next heat, though. She's going to be close.
Absolutely. She's already on her final lap for this race. And you mentioned that she swam 50 yards in the 200 medley relay on backstroke, and she should be pretty fresh, and she's definitely shown that as she is starting to cement the win. But keep an eye on lane 2. Elise Adams starting to catch Ariane Dearden from Kemmer in lane 3. It'll be tough for her to do it, but it is going to be Kendall Fernandez winning it with a 2:39.38, just below her previous fast time.
Then Dearden came in second.
2:46.11, and now third place will belong to Elise Adams of Lyman, 2:49.22. Fifth place is Aliana Simmons with a 3:02.79. Let's show you the results to that first heat. As you can see it right there, 3:02.79. And you're absolutely right. You look at how close Kendall Fernandez is to breaking into that final heat as we actually get ready for that one. And these are the big names. Not an Evanston swimmer in this one, but we'll see Lyman's Anna Jo Short in lane 1, Kira Walk in lane 3, Emery Hamlin in lane 4, Zoe Olguin in lane 5, and Libby Allen in lane 6, with Alone Kemmer Mackenzie Tusher in lane 2. And we're underway here in the final heat of the race, of this event at least.
So we've got some 3A swimmers here that have qualified for state, it looks like. But they're all very well matched in that first turn. They nearly all hit the wall together.
Keep your eye on the center 3 lanes. That's going to be lanes 2 with Mackenzie Tusher, Kira Walk in lane 3, and Emery Hamlin in lane 4. Look at how close they're going to be at this turn right here. Look at the time split. 3:01.73, 3:1.92, 3:1.37. Kira Walk with the slight lead after the first lap.
And that lead is almost unnoticeable as you watch them swim.
Absolutely. Walk still with the slight lead at the next turn, and they're getting ready to finish the second of 4 laps right here, the halfway point. Looks like Walk is starting to maybe stretch it out a little bit, but Tusher not letting her get very far. We'll see where they are at the turn. Wow, 106.55 to 107.01. Kira Walk in the lead over Mackenzie Tusher. Third place, Emery Hamlin.
Tusher gained a little bit on that one. She's catching up. That's a great effort from her.
Coming down to the next turn, and it looks like Walk, but Tusher with a good turn. It looks like she's tightening things up.
They are neck and neck. Look at that. There's less than a foot difference in where they are.
There was a 10-second disparity between Tusher and Walk coming into this race on the seed times. That is no longer the case as they are on their final lap right now. The Kemmer coach yelling at Mackenzie Tusher to go. You have her in her sights, but keep an eye on lane 4. She's starting to mount another one. That's Emery Hamlin. Kira Walk still with a solid lead on the home stretch, and it looks like Walk starting to turn on the afterburners a little bit.
Tusher also has picked up her pace there. This will be a great finish.
Coming down to the finish, Kira Walk is going to out-touch Mackenzie Tusher for first place. And second place goes to Tusher, third to Walk. A 2:19.94. That is going to qualify her for the 3A state championships. So a great swim by her, besting her previous time by about 8 seconds. Coming in fourth place is Libby Allen of Lyman. Third place, Emery Hamlin. Fifth place, actually we'll go ahead and show you that results. Fifth place, Anna Jo Short from Lyman. Sixth place, Zoe Olguin. As we now move on to the next one, that'll be the 200-yard individual medley. This will be 50 yards of butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, and freestyle.
So here we have Emily Sawyer, who's a sophomore. I've been watching her all season. She's This is probably one of the most coachable kids that I've seen.
Really?
She has some great advice from her parents. She listens to it. She actually, unlike most kids, she does what they suggest. And she always seeks out her coach.
Lyman in the 2 lanes on the end, Evanston in the 2 lanes on the left, and in a good start by Emily Sawyer. One thing about Emily Sawyer is she's a breaststroke specialist, which means if she can keep things close in the first 2 lengths, the breaststroke and the backstroke, the freestyle butterfly and the backstroke, she might have an advantage going into the breaststroke. Right now, with an early lead, though, is Brooklyn Rasmussen out of Lyman. Pulling ahead of Sawyer's teammate, Leah Larkin. I got to tell you, Elmo, this was the one stroke I could never master. This is the most difficult, probably one of the most difficult thing you could do in sports, as Brooklyn Rasmussen finishes the butterfly leg with a 36.67, starting to stretch a lead out over Morgan Kurtz, her teammate, and Evanston's Emily Sawyer.
That butterfly is just a whole series of very fluid motions that have to be put together perfectly. Otherwise, it's just a mess. And it's also the most difficult because you just exercise everything that you would normally not. And it's a tough stroke. Those who are good at it are amazing to me.
Lyman running 1 and 2 with Rasmussen and Morgan as we get ready to go to the breaststroke part. This is where Emily Sawyer could probably pick up a place as she sits right now, right next to her teammate Leah Larkin, pretty much tied for 3rd. And we'll see if Sawyer can kick it into gear right here. Her breaststroke again. She's kind of something that she's been working on for a little bit. But look at the breaststroke by Brooklyn Rasmussen over in lane 3.
Sawyer and Larkin were tied as they touched the wall here and switched to breaststroke, but Sawyer has pulled away significantly now.
And she's got her sights set on Morgan Kurtz. We'll see if her breaststroke can outdo it, but I don't think she's going to catch Brooklyn Rasmussen. She is an all-around great swimmer. Look, breaststroke is getting her body up high and bringing her body down low. Just a good job there. And look at Sawyer already closing the gap between her and Morgan Kurtz. On their way to the final freestyle leg, Sawyer and Kurtz are going to battle for second. Brooklyn Rasmussen will win the 200 individual medley here at the Evanston Invite. Leah Larkin sits in 4th for Evanston, but look at the battle for second we've got going on. It looks like Kurtz with a lead slightly, and both her and Sawyer on the backstretch starting to chase each other and tightening up. But it's going to be Brooklyn Rasmussen who wins the 200 IM with a time of 2:51.01. Just slower by a second. Second place will be Morgan Kurtz with a 2:56.71, and Emily Sawyer at 2:58.64 finishes 3rd.
Well, that was a good race. That was those 3 girls. They put on a show for us.
Absolutely. Leah Larkin finishes for Evanston at 2:14.74. Let's show you the 200 IM results right there on our Impact Physical Therapy results board. The winner, Brooklyn Rasmussen out of Lyman. Second place, Morgan Kurtz out of Lyman. Third place, Emily Sawyer from Evanston. And 4th, Leah Larkin out of Evanston.
So we had a no time for Leah. That means this is probably the first time that she has swam this event this year. Typically, the no time means that. Sometimes it's a typo, but this time I believe it is probably true. She's a freshman, and she usually that scares them a little bit to swim. This is a tough race to swim.
It's a very tough race to swim. Now we go to event number 4, the 50-yard freestyle. That is down and back. It's a literal blink and you miss it type deal. We've got 5 heats of this, so that'll make you happy as this is one of your favorite events. Rock Springs, Ellie Christine in lane 1, Kemmer's Maddie Smith in lane 2, Aliana Simmons from Lyman in lane 3, Juliana Bauman from Rock Springs in lane 4, and Rylan Maxfield from Lyman in lane 5. They are going to be keeping team scores at this invite, but that's not – I don't think we've got access to those scores, and that's not what I think a lot of the swimmers use this as. They're using it as a chance to kind of prep for, as you mentioned at the top of the show, conference, state meets, things like that where you are competing against multiple teams, not just one. I think in duels the team scores count a little bit more in a swimmer's head than they would in an invite.
Yeah, they'll probably announce the scores here a couple of times throughout the meet, but for the most part, we just look at individual great efforts from people from all over.
Absolutely. Rylan Maxfield enters the water. Again, this swimmer does not have use of her legs. And we're underway in the first heat of the 50 freestyle. Good start in lane 3 by Aliana Simmons out of Lyman, and she's got a lead, but coming on her tail is Julia Bauman. Excuse me, I got that wrong. In lane 3, she actually has, Julia Bauman coming down. Yeah, I did get that right. Sorry about that.
So look at lane 1. This is one of those exciting ones.
Oh, wow.
We had a no time.
Out of nowhere.
This is Ellie's first time swimming this race. She had a no time, and she won it.
Ellie Christensen out of nowhere from lane 1 wins the heat. And sometimes it's one of those deals where if you have a really good swimmer on the end lane, they can sneak in there because the swimmers on the inside are focusing more on each other.
Yeah, they're trying to beat each other, and they don't recognize the fact that someone off to the side is ahead.
What a race by Ellie Christensen. That literally a blink and you missed it. She snuck under my radar completely as Rylan Maxfield for Lyman gets ready to finish. So we'll bring you the results from Heat 1 as soon as she tags the wall, and there it is. The winner, Christensen from Rock Springs. Second place, Simmons from Lyman. Third place, Bauman from Rock Springs. Fourth place, Smith from Kemmer. And fifth place, Maxfield from Lyman. Going on to Heat 2 of 5, and that'll be Andre Zacharias out of Rock Springs in lane 1, Cheyenne Ruse from Kemmer in lane 2, Cheyenne Good from Rock Springs in lane 3, Jill Huntsman from Lyman in lane 4, Aspen Sorensen from Rock Springs in lane 5, Bella Starr from Rock Springs in lane 6. You look at these top 3 lanes, you got a lot of freshman, sophomore. Isn't until you get to lane 3 where we start to see the times that are very, very competitive. Just a reminder, 28 flat is the qualifying time for both 3A and 4A to make it to the state meets. And we're underway. And this will be a tight one from the get-go. No one with an obvious lead. If I had to guess, I would probably give it to Cheyenne Good of Rock Springs, as she will hit the first wall first.
Yeah, not by much, but she did hit that first. She had a great start there.
Keep an eye on lane 4. That is Jill Huntsman trying to shut it down, but it looks like it's going to be Cheyenne Good from Rock Springs in first place. In this one, we'll give you the rest of them when they get posted. Wow.
Lane 2 out-touched lane 3, or lane 4.
What a race for lane 2's Cheyenne Rouge. She'll get second place. Cheyenne Good from Rock Springs wins it. And they switched it too quickly on me, so I couldn't read off the rest of them. But a great race by them. We'll go to lane 3.
Heat 3.
Heat 3, excuse me. That'll be Chloe Yedinak from Rock Springs, Cadence Hill from Rock Springs, Frankie Hales from Evanston in lane 3, Sarah Jensen from Lyman, lane 4, Shelby Copeland from Rock Springs in lane 5, and Shelby Rollins from Lyman in lane 6.
I'm glad you said that name from lane 1. I couldn't have come up with that one.
Yeah, I'm guessing there. And right now, it looks like Evanston's Frankie Hales with an early lead, but it's not going to be by much. It's all going to depend on this turn right here. Oh, what a turn in lane 4 by Sarah Jensen.
Oh, we've got lanes 3, 4, 5, and 6 are very tight. Frankie, and another one, lane 1, look at that.
Oh, wow. Frankie Hales, I think, out-touches them. Yes, she does. We'll give you the results. Hales in first. Shelly Rollins in second. Lyman's Jensen in third. Yedinik from Rock Springs in 4. And Copeland from Rock Springs in 5th, with Hill from Rock Springs in 6th. Again, they're looking for that 28 flat in order to get into state. And this is where we're going to get to the ones who are knocking on the door, lane 4. You've got Forbush from Rock Springs in lane 1, Price from Kemmer in lane 2, Kylie Walker from Rock Springs in lane 3, Shelby Parkinson from Lyman in lane 4, and Lyman in lane 5 and 6 with Brooke Brendel and Tyler Thatcher. Tyler Thatcher in lane 6 from Kemmer.
So the seed times for these are all just a second or a little more outside of that state qualifying time. These girls are going to be trying hard to drop that time.
Absolutely, and it's 28. Keep an eye on lane 2. She's got an early lead. Great lead out there by Kylie Price from Kemmer. She was 1 second and 15/100ths of a second off the pace for state, according to her seed time. It is tightening up.
Look at lane 6.
Lane 6 may sneak in and beat all of them. She just might. She does.
She did it.
Oh, my goodness. What a race by Thatcher. She is just off the pace to make it to state. It'll be Tyler Thatcher in first, Shelby Parkinson from Lyman in second, Brooke Bendel in third for Lyman. And now we get to, as my coach will call it, the varsity heat. These are the ones with everyone already in state for this one. You've got Laura Parker from Rock Springs in lane 1, Addie Fernandez from Evanston in lane 2, Kim Abby Robinson from Rock Springs in lane 3, Amelia Despain from Kimmer in lane 4, Chloe Butcher from Rock Springs in lane 5, and Leah Mosier from Rock Springs in lane 6. This is going to be a good one. Look at all of them in the 27 mark on their seed time. Anyone could win this one. And right now, a great start in lane 3 by Robinson of Rock Springs. We saw her dominate the 200 medley relay in the backstroke. Right now, she's got a good lead at the halfway point of the 50 free. Keep an eye on lane 4, Amelia Despain as well.
4 and 5 are battling second place. Lane 5 looks like she might do it.
Robinson gets the win. Second place will be Butcher. Third place, Despain. Fourth place, Mosier. Fifth place, Parker. And sixth place, Fernandez. There's your results on the Impact Physical Therapy results board. And wow, look at that, a 24.93 for Kim Abby Robinson. My goodness.
That's an amazing swim there.
And now it looks like they're going to take a break. This is where we usually would have diving, but they're having diving at the high school. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to break down what we've seen in, I guess what you could call the first half of this one. And it's been a great time so far. We'll be right back with more Evanston swimming on a First Mega Wyoming presentation of Red Devil Aquatics on mylocalradio.com.
Two roads diverged in a wood, and I had just purchased new tires at Plains Tire in Evanston. The trained tire technicians at Plains Tire expertly mounted, balanced, and aligned my new tires, so I was feeling good. While I was there, they changed my oil, checked my brakes, fixed my AC, and made sure my shocks were in tip-top shape. And with their lifetime alignment checks and tire rotations, I was ready to roll. So, thanks to Plains Tire, when two roads diverged in a wood, I took the one less traveled. Plains Tire, 157 Bear River Drive, Evanston.
This First Bank of Wyoming presentation of Evanston High School Red Devil Sports is also brought to you in part by T-Bar S Body Shop. Let T-Bar fix your car. Call 307-789-2639. And by Hoover Chiropractic. Dr. Todd Hoover does all of the chiropractic work you need, as well as blood work, dietary supplements, a weight loss program, x-rays, and can help you get rid of migraines and allergies. Call Hoover Chiropractic at 307-789-0043.
Welcome back to the Evanston Aquatics Center. Elan off alongside Elmo Smith, bringing you the 2020 Evanston Invite. And I was excited for this event coming into it, and it has not let us down. Elmo, if you just want to talk about some of the impressions that you've had in the first 4 events. I mean, we're in 4 of 11, so it's been a really good time.
So looks like they're going to announce the team scores right now, but the thing that we have is heat, or the event number 5 is diving, and that's taking place in the other pool. So really this is the halfway mark. It's required that we have a 15-minute break in the middle. That allows the swimmers to get a little bit of a rest. We have a lot of them that swim in the 50 free, and then the very next race is a very demanding 100 butterfly.
Yeah.
So that is why they have to have that break. It's required by the state, and we've seen some great swims, some incredible efforts put on by everybody. As a whole, it looks like the pool is a little slower than what their fastest times are. Their times are their very fastest times, but we have seen a few that have broken those too. That was a very exciting last heat of the 50 free.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at Rock Springs' performance from Kim Abby Robinson, a sub 25 50-yard swim. That's honestly something you don't see a lot at this level.
We're happy if we see something close to that at state. This is a swimmer that can go as far as she wants to.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and talk about the races coming up. You mentioned one of the most grueling races, the 100 butterfly. Only 2 swimmers in that one. Only 2 swimmers brave enough to do that one. And it's Kira Walk from Lyman and Kendall Fernandez from Evanston. Kendall Fernandez proven to be quite the little dynamo freshman for the Evanston Red Devils. Of course, her sister Addie Fernandez is one of the top swimmers in this Red Devil program. She'll graduate after this year. She's already punched her ticket for Laramie in one event and is looking to do the same in the 100 backstroke. We'll talk about that later. After that, another big one. It'll be another 5-heater in the 100-yard freestyle. What is it about the 100-yard freestyle and the 50 freestyle that attracts so much participation?
I think that when you first start to swim, you learn the freestyle.
Yeah.
And so that's the one that most of the kids are the most comfortable with, and they've worked on it, they've practiced it. That's the thing that they feel they have more confidence in that. And they work on that flip turn. They work on it over and over. So these are the 2 races that they feel like they might be the very best at. It's a sprint. They're both a sprint. The 100-yard sprint is a very demanding sprint because it's just long enough that it really gets you exhausted at the end. A fast swimmer on the 50 free will not take a breath that first length, and they'll take one and come back. So they'll swim the entire thing on one extra breath. The 100, they have to have some good timing on their breathing because you can't hold your breath that long.
Absolutely not. And then we'll have the event that I begged my coach never to put me in, and they never did, the 500-yard freestyle. Only 4 girls brave enough to take on that one, 2 Lyman, 2 Evanston. What kind of swimmer is successful at the 500-yard freestyle? Because obviously it'll be a much different type than what we'll see most of the day. What kind of separates a successful 500-yard freestyler?
So this is an event that is all just you just have determination, and you just have that inner drive that says, I will do this, because this one hurts. This one hurts a lot. And those kids that'll go to state and take first in state and set state records, they look at this as a series of sprints, and they will literally swim each lap thinking this is a sprint, and then sometimes they have to back off a little bit, but then they'll sprint another one, and they just keep sprinting as hard as they can all the way to the end. And those kids will be so exhausted they'll barely be able to get out of the water. That's what it takes to win this, but what it takes to swim it is just, you have to have that person that won't quit no matter what. They just have that inner drive that says, I am going to do this, no matter how hard.
If you've never been a competitive swimmer before, it's loud outside. It's a pump-up type environment between the crowd. But when you're in the water, it's a very solitary, lonely spot because you don't hear that. You don't, when you're underwater, when you're competing, you don't get that feeling from the crowd. So in the 500-yard free, it's a very lonely race. It's a very mentally draining one, as you mentioned. Swimmers have been known to barely get out of the pool after that one.
And it's 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, depending on their skill level. The fast swimmers will do it in 6. That's still a long time to be isolated from your coaching, isolated from your support group, and just sometimes they actually lose track of where they are. So we have the numbers are down at the far end, the lap counting. They'll have one of their teammates down there counting the laps so they actually know where they are, because you get lost in your effort there.
Absolutely, and you kind of eventually hit the swimmer's version of a runner's high where you aren't even thinking about, is that lap 12 or lap 18 coming up. So it's definitely a good thing that the teammates are there to help them. And I would do the boards sometime for a teammate, and one of them, they said, I like it when I know one of my teammates is doing it, because in a way I know I'm not on my own. And because it really is a solitary, and like you said, it's a long time to be separated from everyone else. Moving on to the 200-yard freestyle relay, we're going to have 2 heats there. And then, of course, in the girls 100-yard backstroke, that is the event that Coach AC has said to watch. The favorite is Addie Fernandez. She's got a good lead according to seed to actually know. The favorite is Brinley Buskell out of Lyman, the San Diego State University commit. Addie Fernandez, though, needs to be under 109 to punch her ticket for state in Laramie. She is less than a second off of that. Her seed time is under, but that was from last year, so she has to do it all over again this year. Then we've got the girls 100-yard breaststroke, and that's another one that Brinley Buskell will probably run away with. Again, she's committed to the university, or to San Diego State University. But it should be a fun battle between Emily Sawyer and Abby Kim Robinson, who has had the swim of the day so far with that 24-second 50 freestyle. And then we have the 400-yard freestyle relay, which will close it off. And these relays at the end of their day, they're just a lot of fun for the kids, because it's really it's a swim team, but it's really the only event where you actually get to compete as a team is in those relays.
Yeah, and the team scores are added a lot by these the relays. The score of the relay is much higher, but you'll see most of the time you'll see these girls swim an event 50 free or 100 free, and they'll have a time. But when they swim with their team in that race, they will drop sometimes 2 or 3 seconds, because the excitement of competing with their team, they put effort into it they never find any other time.
Absolutely. Some of the most exciting races in swimming history were relays. Of course, the one that I think of is the 2008, I believe it was the 200-yard freestyle relay with Michael Phelps against the Frenchman, having to win that one in order to get the 8 gold medals. That was early in his streak, but that was also looked at as the most biggest challenge before he would go on that historic run in Beijing. So relays are exciting. You never know what you're going to get. Well, we're almost done with our break here. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we will get ready for the second half of this invite, the Evanston invite, featuring Rock Springs, Evanston, Kemmer, and Lyman, on a First Bank of Wyoming presentation of Red Devil Swimming on MyLocalRadio.com.
At Ellingford Brothers, we're known for an excellent steel shop and quality cement. We also provide other products all year round. Sand and different sizes of gravel for road base and landscaping in the summer and fall. Traction in the winter and mud control in the spring. Bark for landscaping in the summer and winterization in the fall. And topsoil. Spring, summer, and fall. Prices are always honest. Pickup or delivery. Ellingford Brothers, your year-round source for so many things. Stop in today at 221 County Road in Evanston.
When you're looking For one location that is centrally located in Wyoming to host a business meeting or corporate retreat, always consider the Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper first. With meeting rooms and amenities that everyone can enjoy at the Come On In is the best place to host events. The rustic decor, fireplaces, jacuzzis, pool, and large indoor atrium will make your event memorable. Call today and find out the ways we can help make your event a success. Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper. Call 307-472-6300.
Welcome back to Evanston Aquatic Center at Davis Middle School. They just called for the timers to come back, which means we are about ready to get started with our next event, the 100-yard butterfly. And Elan Oliff here alongside Elmo Smith. And Elmo, you look at the upcoming races, and of course we had the 50-yard freestyle, which was absolutely incredible. Other highlights coming up will be the 100-yard freestyle, the 100 back, the 100 breast, everything that we've got coming up. It's going to be good watching from top to bottom.
I'm excited to see some of these later races here. We've got some really great swimmers that are going to be going head-to-head. That's when it's fun to see some of these top swimmers and have them compete, where sometimes they may not compete in state, but we'll see a race here that will probably never happen the rest of the season. Absolutely.
And also, we talked about it the last time we had a swim broadcast. You pay the price of admission to see maybe a Brindley Buskell or a Addie Fernandez, but while you're here, you only see those guys for maybe like 10 minutes tops combined. While you're here, you become fans of Kendall Fernandez, the great Rock Spring swimmer, Kim Abby Robinson. It's just such a diverse athlete set here at a swim meet that sometimes you come for one name, but you end up staying for 4 or 5 different ones.
Well, and you get a great deal of respect for some of these girls that you would never have seen before.
Yeah.
And we have just a gathering here of the best swimmers in southwestern Wyoming, and this is actually a great event.
Absolutely. And it's our pleasure to be able to bring it to you on mylocalradio.com. Thank you for joining us and making us a part of your Saturday morning. This is the second of our 2 swim broadcasts in the girls' season. The boys' swimming season will start as part of the winter sports program, and we don't have any dates yet, but we're hoping that the schedule cooperates, where we'll be able to bring you some Evanston boys swimming, where we can see a lot of great performances. You think the boys or the girls have been exciting. The boys have got a swimmer that his name slips in my mind. His first name's Jackson, but the boys have got a swimmer that has gotten medals at state and is on his way to being one of the top racers in the state of Wyoming at the 4A level, that's as high as it gets here in the Cowboy State.
Swimmers in Heat 7, the 100-yard butterfly, report to the blocks.
And they just called the swimmers for the 100-yard butterfly to the blocks. This will be an all-star race. Kira Walk versus Kendall Fernandez. Lyman Senior versus Evanston's freshman.
These are 2 great swimmers, though. Freshman is going to give that senior a run for it.
Absolutely. And you look at their seed times. Kira Walk is looking at the 3A seed time. She's already in. Kendall Fernandez looking at the 4A seed time at 1:11.50. But if Kendall Fernandez was swimming in 3A and Kira Walk was swimming in 4A, they both would qualify.
That's true.
So it'll be Kendall Fernandez in lane 4, Kira Walk in lane 3.
It looks like we're ready to start.
Walk with maybe about an 1.5 inch advantage in height over Fernandez, and also 3 years her senior. That experience will definitely help her out. As we're back underway at the 2020 Evanston Invite in the 100-yard butterfly, Kira Walk takes out a fast start. Kendall Fernandez, though, right on her tail.
Kira Walk had just about a perfect start.
Wow, did you see that turn by Kendall Fernandez? A perfect turn. And now she is tightening things up. Somehow, some way, Kendall found the energy to get to the wall right at the very end there at the same time as Kira Walk.
Kendall has pulled ahead. We'll see how this touch goes.
Looking at the time splits, it is 33.95 versus 34.48, and another great turn by Kendall Fernandez. But Kira Walk looks very, very comfortable in this spot. This might also be a little bit of gamesmanship on Walk's side. She is the more experienced swimmer. We'll see if she pulls ahead at the very end, but right now, Fernandez and Walk neck and neck going into the penultimate wall. Wow.
Touched the wall exactly the same time.
Great turn by both Fernandez and Walk, but Walk starting to stretch out that lead a little bit more. Fernandez is falling behind. What a great swim by the freshman, but the senior, Kira Walk, shows that experience might be a little bit more of a factor. She wins it with a 1:13.95, and Fernandez touches at a 1:17.77. That was a great race.
That was a great race. Watching a freshman put the heat on a senior like that is fun.
And that tells you where this girl is headed in the future. I mean, again, only a freshman. We've got plenty more years of Kendall Fernandez swimming, and she is showing that she can line up toe-to-toe with anyone.
But she's in great shape. She's hardly even breathing now. She's got more there. We'll expect a lot more from that girl.
Absolutely. And now we get ready for the 100-yard freestyle. There is your lane 1 in the 100-yard freestyle. It's going to be Rock Springs in lane 2 with Bella Starr. Yep. Juliana Bauman in lane 3 and Candace Hill in lane 4. So it's going to be 3 Rock Springs swimmers to do heat 1 of 5. And we're underway in heat 1. Good start in lane 2 by Bella Starr. Also coming up in lane 3, though, is Candace Hills. Starr is going to be at the 25-yard mark first.
I always like to see the swimmers prove the seeding wrong. This is an exciting one to me.
Absolutely. In lane 2, Starr with the lead. Got a very smooth stroke. 3 and 4 going to be neck and neck. Maybe Candace Hill right in front of Julia Bauman. Half a second separates Bauman and Hill. Hill with the lead, but Bella Starr controlling this one as she's getting ready for the home stretch.
Lanes 3 and 4 are still pretty tight.
We'll see if Julia Bauman can turn it on as Bella Starr is going to take heat number 1. Look at the heat coming from Julia Bauman in lane 3. It's going to be a tight race for second and third between the 2 Rock Springs teammates. I think Candace Hill has a little bit more of an advantage, and she does out-touch Bauman. So there is your results in heat number 1. It'll be Starr from Rock Springs in first, Hill from Rock Springs in second, and Bauman from Rock Springs in third. Moving on to heat number 2 of 5, it'll be Aspen Sorensen out of Rock Springs in lane 1, Morgan Forbush from Rock Springs in lane 2, Ariane Dearden from Kemmer in lane 3, Elise Adams from Lyman in lane 4, and Andrea Zacharias from Rock Springs in lane 5. And it looks like Rock Springs coach talking with the official. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I couldn't tell what was going on there, but
again, it'll be Rock Springs Christensen in 1. Or sorry, Sorensen in 1. Rock Springs Forbush in 2. Dearden from Kemmer in 3. Adams from Lyman in 4. And Zacharias from Rock Springs in 5. Look at lane 2. Looks like she's got a good start. Of course, that is Morgan Forbush, the sophomore out of Rock Springs. You talk about proven seeding wrong. She has definitely got a good lead, and that's already starting to look like a good momentum builder for the Tigers. At the halfway point, it is Forbush at 31.08 in first. Dearden from Kemmer at 34.77, and Adams from Lyman at 36.17, and Forbush just stretching out this lead for Rock Springs.
Boy, she wanted to win this right from the beginning.
And she might be looking for a state qualifying time. She needs to be at 101 flat, and she's got 2 seconds to play with. She's not going to make it, but she's definitely coming out here for a personal best, and Forbush will get exactly that, a 106.65.
She dropped 10 seconds. That's unbelievable. That's a great, great swim.
Morgan Forbush will come in first. Second place will be Dearden from Kemmer. Third place, Adams from Lyman. Fourth place, Zacharias from Rock Springs. Thank you. Fifth place will be Sorensen out of Rock Springs. So that is heat number 2. I'll move on to heat number 3. That's going to be Ellie Christensen from Rock Springs in 2. Emily Allen from Lyman in 2. Morgan Kurtz from Lyman in 3. Chloe Yedinik from Rock Springs in 4. Shelby Copeland from Rock Springs in 5. And Nadia Runyon from Kemmer in 6. Lanes going 1 through 6, right to left on your screen on mylocalradio.com.
We have 2 freshmen in this heat. We'll have to see how they compete.
The 2 freshmen, that is Christensen and Yedinik. Yedinik with the second fastest seed time coming into this. We'll have to keep an eye on her for sure. She'll be in lane 4. That is the 4th lane going from right to left on mylocalradio.com. After this, it'll be heat 4, and that's when the big guns start to show up. And we're underway. Good start in lane 3 for Kurtz, but looks like she's tightening up just a little bit. 2 and 3, neck and neck. That is Allen and Kurtz from Lyman. Yedinik, though, starting to close down the gap. Really, all the swimmers, but keep an eye on lane 6.
Look at lane 6, yes.
Nadia Runyon has jumped out to a lead.
She has. Let's see if she can hold on to that.
We'll see if the girls in the middle decide to chase her down or if they know she's there, but Runyon starting to take off a little bit more.
I don't think they realize she's in the lead.
No,
you've got the 4 in the middle that are all looking at each other.
Absolutely. They don't realize it. They are breathing. When they turn their heads, they're looking at each other. No one is looking at lane 6. She has got a lead going into the final length. She's got that's unsurpassable. I don't think they're going to catch her.
I don't think they can. She's got momentum on her. She's going to do it.
And the thing is she built that lead in that first length. So when they were looking away from her, she got ahead of them, and Runyon gets the win. My goodness, what a result for her. It'll be at a 106.25. Not quite fast enough to put her in the 3A state tournament. In lane 2, more would be Emily Allen. She takes second, and then Kurtz takes third. Yedinik takes 4th for Rock Springs. Copeland takes 5th for Rock Springs. In 6th place is lane 1 Christensen for Rock Springs. Wow, what a race by Nadia Runyon.
That was a great effort.
Lane 5 will feature Cheyenne Good from Rock Springs in lane 1, Mackenzie Tusher from Kemmer in lane 2, Kylie Walker from Rock Springs in lane 3, Tyler Thatcher from Kemmer in lane 4, Kylie Price from Kemmer in lane 5, and Shelby Rollins from Lyman in lane 6. Going back to that victory by Runyon, it looked like she had the lead after the first length. And by the time the other swimmers were looking that direction, she was maybe out of their eyesight, and they didn't think she was anything to worry about.
Yeah, I think she was a surprise to all of them.
Looking at the seed time, absolutely. She had the slowest seed time in that heat, as we are off and running here in heat number 4 of 5. In the lead, the top 2 is lanes 4 and 5, Kylie Price and Tyler Thatcher, both from Kemmer. Thatcher starting to stretch out the lead a little bit.
We've got a great effort from Price in lane 5. and lane 2.
Good turn from Price over in lane 5. Also keep an eye on Mackenzie Tusher from Kemmer. We've been talking about that. Kemmer looking to go 1, 2, 3. Tusher starting to turn it on. She might pass her teammate Thatcher.
Oh, they're neck and neck on that last turn.
It's going to be super close. This is going to come all the way down to the wire. Tusher starting to stretch out the lead right now. Is Price going to be, or Thatcher going to be able to respond? I don't think so. Mackenzie Tusher is going to win the heat. And I believe she just punched her ticket for state.
She did.
She did. 102.
Yeah. And second place, Thatcher also got a time.
So Thatcher and Tusher both punched their ticket for the 3A state meet. Congratulations to them. And that was a great race. And now we go to the final heat in the 100-yard freestyle. Brooke Bendel out of Lyman in lane 1, Emery Hamblin from Lyman in lane 2, Chloe Butcher from Rock Springs in lane 3, Leah Mosier from Rock Springs in lane 4, Laura Parker from Rock Springs in lane 5, and Libby Allen from Lyman in lane 6.
So this is the thing you see in swimming you don't see in a lot of other events. Those two girls, first and second, Tusher and Thatcher, down there hugging each other, congratulating each other. That is awesome. That's the kind of sportsmanship that should prevail everywhere.
Absolutely. Both of them knowing they have punched their ticket for the state meet, and we are underway here in the final heat of the 100 free. Off to a quick start is Chloe Butcher from Rock Springs. She's got the fastest seed time by far, sub 1 minute at 58.99.
Oh, she's off to a great start again.
Although right on her tail, though, not to be ignored, is Leah Mosier from Rock Springs. Also there is Emery Hamlin from Lyman. She is just over a minute on that seat time, and they're going to be neck and neck at the 50-yard mark.
Looks like Hamlin's actually a little ahead for second place.
The lead is being held by Rock Springs' Chloe Butcher, but Hamlin trying to breathe down her neck. Oh, keep an eye on Libby Allen in lane 6.
Oh, I didn't even see that one.
And the pink cap, she snuck under everybody's radar. She's looking for a top 4 finish. Hamblin trying to close down the gap, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Butcher wins it, Hamblin 2. Mosier 3rd, and Libby Allen out of lane 6 takes 3rd. Libby Allen had not qualified for state yet. Did she just do it? She did. She is heading for the state meet. A great swim by Libby Allen puts her into the state meet, a 103.37 for 4th place. First place, Butcher with a 1 minute 21. Second place will be Hamblin from Lyman. Third place will be Mosier from Rock Springs. Fourth place, again, Allen from Lyman. Fifth place, Brooke Bindle from Lyman. And sixth place, Laura Parker from Rock Springs.
That's exciting. 4 of those girls going to state. That's great.
And we just saw 3 straight state qualifying times. And that is an absolute great job. And now we get to the race that has become Lyman versus Evanston, the 500-yard freestyle. That's half a mile if my math serves me correctly. And looking at this one, keep an eye on Shelby Parkinson in lane 3 from Lyman. She's already punched her ticket for state. Also keep an eye on Frankie Hales from Evanston. She has the second fastest seed time. The slowest time of these seed times is technically no time, but the slowest actual time is 7:16:44. So we talked about this is a grueling race mentally and physically. So let's go and go through it. Jill Huntsman from Lyman in lane 2, Shelby Parkinson from Lyman in lane 3, Frankie Hales from Evanston in lane 4, and Leah Larkin from the Red Devils in lane 5.
So both Evanston swimmers are freshmen. And then Lyman has a sophomore and a junior. We'll see if experience is better or if we have the seed times look like they might be very, very excitingly close.
Very much so. Of course, the big one is Leah Larkin. We don't know about her. Is this maybe the first time she swam this event? And they start that half-a-mile trek. Good start by really all 4 swimmers. They're all kind of right there. But if I had to pick one right now, I'm looking at Shelby Parkinson out of Lyman. She'll get to the first turn first. As a coach, what would you be telling your swimmers right here at the beginning of a 500-yard freestyle?
Well, a lot of times what you'll see is these swimmers get excited and they push a little too hard in the first few laps, and then they have to slow down, and they slow down too much to catch their breath, and they'll actually lose the race in those third, fourth, fifth laps when they had a great start right from the beginning. But if they're conditioned and they've done it enough and they know what their pace is, that's what you need to try to have them focus on. A lot of the times the ones that are turning the cards at the bottom to remind them which lap they're on, they'll keep track of the time and shake it up and down if they need to speed up, or swing it side to side if they need to slow down a little bit, and then just hold it still if their pace is perfect. You'll see that's a typical sign for all of them when they swim that.
Shelby Parkinson approaching the fourth turn on their way to fifth, and as you saw, her teammate did not move the board, and there it is right there. For Frankie Hales, her person with the board shook it up and down, telling her she needs to speed up.
And we got the same signal from lane 2 as well, but lane 4 they just held it still. So I expect a couple of them are right on pace, and the other two need to speed up a little bit.
And of course, one is absolutely right where they want to be. That's Lyman Shelby Parkinson. Again, Jill Huntsman from Lyman in lane 2, Shelby Parkinson from Lyman in lane 3, and then the freshman from Evanston, Frankie Hales, in lane 4, and another freshman from Evanston, Leah Larkin, in lane 5. Yeah, they're telling Frankie Hales to go a little bit quicker, as you saw the board person at the end shake that one up and down. See what they do. The same thing, it looks like, with lane 5. Parkinson, though, looks to have firm control of this race, as she has not really missed a stride. They're not even telling her to speed up. They're just saying hold and keep doing what you're doing.
Well, it looks like she's already qualified for state, so now she's just swimming to win the race.
And it looks very likely that that's going to happen. This one's a little bit of a longer race, so we're going to step aside. We'll take a break. The ads will be playing in the top left corner of your screen, so you can still enjoy the action. But myself and Elmo will be right back after this on a First Bank of Wyoming presentation of Evanston Swimming on mylocalradio.com.
When you think about Bear Lake, think family, fun, fishing, beaches, boats, green, and great food. Think water, wildlife, trails, and shakes, snow, scenery, and sun. Think summer. Go to bearlake.org and plan your visit today. Visit Scenic Idaho.
What do you do when you lose a tooth?
Put it under your pillow. Under my pillow. Or like a treasure chest so you could put it in.
Why do you do that?
Because then the tooth fairy comes for the tooth fairy, so the tooth fairy can come get them.
And then what happens?
I get money.
We may not be the tooth fairy, but we can still take care of your teeth. Bear River Dental in Evanston.
Wyoming is unique. When it comes to high school sports, we might travel 6 hours to a game, but when we get there, we know the other team, their parents, and the coaches. Wyoming is like one small town with really long streets. When your travels take you to Evanston, always stay with your friends at the Best Western Dunmar Inn. Clean, comfortable rooms, a restaurant serving healthy, delicious food, and breakfast is always included. If you're bringing the team or following the team, stay with us every time you're in Evanston. The Best Western Dunmar Inn.
Welcome back to the Evanston Aquatic Center 2020 Evanston Invite, as we are in the middle of the latter end of the 500 free, and during the break, Shelby Parkinson started to pull away. So too has Frankie Hales in second place. So those two seem cemented. but Leah Larkin from Evanston chasing Jill Huntsman for third. They are neck and neck right now.
Leah is actually just a little ahead on this last touch.
Yep,
She finally, they were just exactly even, but now she's just a little bit ahead.
It looks like we're about to see Shelby Parkinson lap her second place person, Frankie Hales, as she is on the same length as her, but a full lap ahead. Good comeback by Leah Larkin, though. No time on her seed time, so this may be the very first time she's swam it. I mean, she's a freshman, so this might be the first time she's swum it at the high school level.
It probably is. In practice, I know they've done warm-ups of 500 and they've done cool-downs of 500, but this will be the first time she's competed as a high school swimmer at this distance, and that's tough. Looks like they're almost neck and neck again.
They just showed the orange board for Shelby Parkinson, meaning this is the final lap, final length, and she's going to win this one. No problem. Frankie Hales currently has second place locked up as she is going to go. Anyway, Parkinson finishes with a 6:20.41. As it looks like Leah Larkin, though, and Jill Huntsman locked in a battle for third. Huntsman starting to pull forward just a little bit more as Frankie Hales, the freshman, is going to hold her own and take second place in this one. After this race, it'll be the 200-yard freestyle relay.
It looks like Larkin is just maybe a second behind is all. She's still right there. Starting that last length, they're both putting on a sprint. All the sprint they've got. That's a great effort from both of them.
Leah Larkin in lane 5 battling Jill Huntsman for second place. We just saw Frankie Hales finish with second. It's going to be so close. I think Larkin's going to get it. She does. Third place for Leah Larkin, the first time she's ever swum this one according to the seed time. 7:24.74. Let's bring you the 500 free results. It's Parkinson with a 6:24.1 wins it for Lyman. Second place will be Evanston's Frankie Hales with a 7:83. Third place will be Leah Larkin for Evanston, and fourth place Jill Huntsman for Lyman. Now we move on to event number 9, the 200 freestyle relay. And this will be a good one.
This is the exciting one for the girls. They love to swim this one. Each one of them will swim the 50 just as hard as they can. Like I said before, they should be doing this on one breath or two at the most. And you see a great effort from all of them. This great team chemistry on this, where they encourage each other. If we had as many spectators as normal, this is the one that will deafen you from the screaming.
Lane 2 will be the Rock Springs B team. No team names listed. Lane 3 will be Lyman C team with Rasmussen, Olguin, Simmons, and Adams. Lane 4 will be Kemmer's B team with Filoni, Dearden, Clark, and Smith.
The one thing the officials will watch on this is the starts to make sure that the swimmer that's in the water touches the wall before the other one leaves the block.
What are the officials watching on the far end?
They're watching on this one here, they have to watch to make sure that they touch, and they typically would go in with a flip turn, and you can see very clearly if they've touched or not. So that's the main thing they'll do. On the other events, they're actually watching to make sure that the strokes are done properly.
Rasmussen touches first for Lyman. Rock Springs in second. Kemmer in third. Olguin goes in for Lyman, while Dearden goes in for Rock Springs. We don't have a team list for the Rock Springs team, so Dearden actually goes in for Kemmer, excuse me. But Lyman starting to stretch a lead here, but a good turn in lane 2 by Rock Springs.
Lanes 2 and 4 are neck and neck. This is going to be a good race.
Lyman tags up, and they will send in Aliana Simmons, the freshman, and it'll be Laurel Clark for Kemmer, the junior. Lyman with just such an impressive swim program over the years. Keep an eye on Clark, though. She's tightening things up as she actually just took the lead on that turn. What a turn by Laurel Clark.
Now that's a great length of swimming there. She swam that whole thing on one breath. She's taken 3 breaths coming back. She's really given it an effort.
It'll be up to Maddie Smith to try to hold on for Lyman's B team, while Elise Adams goes in for Lyman's B team. Rock Springs off the pace a little bit at third. It's going to be a battle at the end, but a charge put on by Elise Adams has already got Lyman up ahead.
Elise had a great start there. She really came off the blocks good.
Rock Springs out of nowhere. They are back in this, and they are tightening things up. We don't have a team name for Rock Springs, but it's going to be Elise Adams for Lyman to win it for them, and Rock Springs comes out of nowhere to take second. Third place is going to be Maddie Smith for Kemmer.
Well, that was fun to see the lead change all the way through. That's a fun race.
That is a heck of a race. Let's go ahead and set for the varsity heat, I guess you could call it. Kemmer's A-team with Despain, Thatcher, Tusher, and Price in lane 2. Rock Springs A-team with Mosier, Butcher, Walker, and Robinson in lane 3. Lyman's Buskell, Hamblin, Bindle, and Walk in lane 4. And Lyman's B-team with Allen, Jensen, Allen, and Rollins in lane 5. No Evanston team in this one. Again, sometimes having those big numbers really helps you fill out those relays. Evanston does not have that luxury, so that's why we won't see them in this relay. But this will be fun between Rock Springs and Lyman, especially when you look at Brinley Buskell, the San Diego State University commit, out to a quick lead.
Well, these are the names that we've been seeing all day, the ones that are placing the first, second, and third. So this is a great example of what they can do.
Great job by Leah Mosier to keep things tight with Buskell to give Lyman a chance, because usually Lyman's Brinley Buskell goes out to a big lead and then everyone else has to chase and try to make it up. But this time they're all within the same length. But I tell you what, a great start by Brooke Bendel from Lyman, and now she is starting to stretch out that lead, in a great turn from Chloe Butcher from Rock Springs. Also, not to be discounted will be Kemmer. A great swim at the opening part by Amelia Despain, and now Tyler Thatcher bringing it home. Into the third leg, Lyman sends in Brooke Bendel, Rock Springs' Kylie Walker, and Kemmer's Kylie Price. Sarah Jensen hands off to Emily Allen for Lyman's B team, but Lyman's A team with the lead. Keep an eye on lane 3, though. Rock Springs' Kim Abby Robinson, a sub 25.50. She'll need that here.
She will, because Kemmer, I think, is just pulling ahead. They did. They're a little bit ahead.
They are a little bit ahead. Kira Walk in for Lyman. They lead it. But look at Abby Robinson. She is starting to close it down. She's caught Kemmer. She's now set her sights on Lyman. It's going to take an amazing turn, and I think they got that good turn. It's going to be so close.
Oh, this is they're neck and neck.
Chloe Abby Robinson might have a little bit of a lead. I think she does.
She did it.
Unbelievable swim by Chloe Abby Robinson. Or Kim Abby Robinson, excuse me.
Yes.
Chloe Butcher was named ahead of it. My apologies. Kim Abby Robinson with an amazing swim to bring that one home for Rock Springs. Wow.
No, that was beautiful.
Here's the results. Rock Springs A wins it. Lyman A takes second. Kemmer A takes third. And Lyman's B team takes fourth. Wow. Now we get to the event that Coach said that she's most excited for, and that is the 100-yard backstroke, but it'll be Heat 2 where we watch to see if Addie Fernandez, and we're about to get diving scores.
From Rock Springs High School, we have Kara Beer.
So in diving, ninth place will be
from Rock Springs, we have
Emma Zanetti in 8th place, Kara Beer in 9th. Lyman will be Taylor Hill in 5th. 6th place will be Kemmer's Sophie Filoni. 5th place will be Rock Springs Aurora Brown. 4th place will be Rock Springs Kate Hollingshead. 3rd place will be Kemmer's Laurel Clark. And second place is Evanston's Taylor Davis, which means that Lyman's, actually no, it'll be a Rock Springs, Anna Sorensen that wins it, the freshman. Great job there. Taylor Davis for Evanston takes second. She's already punched her ticket for Laramie in the diving. It's been a while since Evanston's had a diver in state, but they'll get it for the first time in 2020 in a little bit. We now move on to the girls' 100-yard backstroke. Heat 1 features Ryland Maxfield, the junior, in lane 2 for Lyman, Cheyenne Ruse for Kemmer in lane 3, and Maddie Smith, the freshman, for Kemmer in lane 4. State qualifying time at 4A, 109 flat, 3A, 112.50, and we're underway here in Heat 1 of the 100 backstroke. Right now, a good lead by Cheyenne Ruse. She is the overwhelming favorite in Heat number 1.
She does have the fastest seed time in this one, so this might be one of those times when the seed times are exactly correct.
What is the secret to winning the 100 backstroke?
The backstroke, the two key parts of this one are primarily a good, smooth, strong stroke, and the other thing is your turns. The start, you'll see most of the kids will be fairly even on the start, but that holding your head straight and getting a good kick and good arm stroke, that's what you look for on the backstroke.
So right now, already coming down the back stretch is Cheyenne Ruse. In second place is Maddie Smith. Ryland Maxfield in third place in this heat. It's going to be an easy victory for Cheyenne Ruse. A 124 is what she comes in with, and it's going to be quicker. She'll get a new personal best, 123.52 for Cheyenne Ruse. Puts her about 3 seconds outside of the time to get into the big heat that will be coming up soon. Right now in second place is Maddie Smith, while Ryland Maxfield currently in third place. Again, Ryland does not have use of her legs, so the fact that she's out here and is able to compete at this level with these girls is absolutely fantastic.
She's really doing well, especially when you understand that she is not able to kick and get her legs up towards the surface. She's got a very powerful stroke.
Maddie Smith, the freshman, tags up second for Kemmer. So Ryland Maxfield will be finishing third in this heat, and that's how that goes. We'll bring you our 100 back results on the Impact Physical Therapy result board. Ruse from Kemmer takes first, Smith from Kemmer takes second, and Maxfield from Lyman takes third. And now it's time for the big heat. In lane 1 will be Laurel Clark from Kemmer. Lane 2 will be Amelia Despain from Kemmer. Lane 3, Brinley Buskell from Lyman. Addison Fernandez from Evanston in lane 4. Anna Jo Short from Lyman in lane 5. And Zoe Olguin from Lyman in lane 6. Again, to qualify for state, you have to be 109 under that. And we've seen Addie Fernandez come so close so many times. Is today the day that she punches her ticket for Laramie? Brinley Buskell out there. She's not wearing a swim cap. Doesn't need it, as she has proven she is one of the fastest swimmers out here. She'll be attending San Diego State University next year after she graduates. Addie Fernandez, also a senior. And we're underway here in the big heat of the 100 freestyle. And Brinley Buskell with a great start.
So you'll notice that she stayed underwater almost all the way to the red marks on the lines. They do have to come up before that, at or before that, so she was right exactly where she needs to be. She's practiced that enough. She knows exactly how many kick she needs to do underwater.
Addie Fernandez and Anna Jo Short battling for second. Also, keep your eye on Amelia Despain and Amelia Clark. So many racers battling for that second place. Brinley Buskell, though, at a halfway split of 31.73. Addie Fernandez, 34.19. She needs to pick it up just a little bit more in order to punch her ticket for Laramie. Keep your eye, though, on Anna Jo Short in lane 5.
Boy, those two are neck and neck in that last turn down there.
Look at Buskell just putting it on cruise control home. Fernandez and Short cooking it, trying to bring it home. This is going to be close. She's got 2 more seconds to play with. She's going to be just short of qualifying for state. It'll be second place for Addie Fernandez. Look at that, 1:11.36 to 1:11.91. Anna Jo Short comes in third. Amelia Despain fourth. Laurel Clark will be fifth. Zoe O'Gean in sixth place.
Well, that was a great race for second place.
Brinley Buskell with a 1:06.65. And Addie Fernandez, 1:11.36, so she'll have to wait another time to qualify for the 100 back. Third place will be Anna Jo Short from Lyman, and fourth place, Amelia Despain from Kemmer. Fifth place, Laurel Clark from Kemmer, and Zoe Olguin from Lyman in sixth. We now move on to the 100-yard breaststroke. This will be another one where it features 2 heats. Nadia Runyon from Kemmer in lane 2, Brooklyn Rasmussen from Lyman in lane 3, and Emily Allen from Lyman in lane 4. If you look at the seed times of this one, this promises to be a very close race. Look at that. 1/100th of a second separate Brooklyn Rasmussen and Emily Allen for the top seed time.
And they're teammates, so you know they're going to be battling there.
This one it takes a little bit different of a swimmer to win this one. It's a lot about timing. And what am I missing here for breaststroke?
The breaststroke is the arms and the legs are alternating, and it takes quite a bit of practice and work to get that down so that you can move smoothly and fluidly through the water. They reach out. The breaststroke, the arms can't go down past their waist. And that's part of the reason why they call it the breaststroke. They reach out and they pull it in, and then reach out again. The secret is to try to stay streamlined as much as they can, and then they do that big frog kick, and all timing. You can see when it's done right, it's a beautiful thing, and if they're struggling with it, you can see that they're struggling.
At the halfway point, all of them within a second of each other. This is going to be an extremely close finish right now. The lead being held by Maddie Smith, the youngest, the freshman, Emily Allen, the sophomore out of Lyman. We'll see what Nadia Runyon can pull off in lane 2, but also keep your eye on Brooklyn Rasmussen from Lyman in lane 3. It looks like it's going to be Emily Allen. It's going to be a battle between Rasmussen and Runyon in 2 and 3. Win by Allen. Second place goes to Rasmussen. Runyon comes in third.
So Allen dropped time, and this is a time when most kids have been adding a few seconds.
Just dropped about 2 seconds there. And plus, impressive as we get ready for the big heat. It'll be lane 1, Sophie Filoni from Kemmer. Lane 2, Emily Sawyer from Evanston. Lane 3, Brinley Buskell from Lyman. Lane 4, of course, Kim Abby Robinson from Rock Springs. Lane 5, Sarah Jensen from Lyman. And Taylor Davis from Evanston in lane 6. This could be the matchup of the day. Brinley Buskell versus Kim Abby Robinson.
This is a great event for our 2 Evanston swimmers.
Absolutely.
They're swimming against 2 of the top swimmers in the state here.
Keep your eye on Emily Sawyer in lane 2. Again, her breaststroke almost got her into second place in the 200 IM. As it looks like Buskell and Abby Robinson are going to go mano a mano in this first length. Wow, they're right on each other's tail.
And then lanes 2 and 5 are dead even. Actually, 1, 2, and 5.
Buskell versus Kim Abby Robinson out of Rock Springs. And at the first touch, it is Robinson. Look at that. 33-16 to 32-63. Robinson ahead of Buskell. And keep an eye on Emily Sawyer. She's battling for third place and looks like she is right in the thick of it. Abby Robinson pulling ahead of Buskell at the 75-yard mark.
We have two separate races, one for first and second, the other one for third. We've got three for third that are right there.
The race for first place is going to be the closest we've seen yet. Brindley Buskell versus Kim Abby Robinson. Looks like Buskell pulling ahead at the very last second. It's going to be close. It is Brindley Buskell by 0.06 of a second over Kim Abby Robinson. Emily Sawyer, though, she is coming in. She is going to take third place. Emily Sawyer is going to outtouch Sarah Jensen for third place. 123.58 for Sawyer. She dropped 2 seconds off of her time.
That's amazing. That's great.
Man, what a race the 100 breaststroke was. That was incredible.
Well, that's when it's fun to be here, to see that individual effort. And they're all getting out of the water with big smiles on.
Absolutely, as we now set things up for our final event of the day, the 400-yard freestyle relay. It'll be Kemmer A-Team in lane 1 with Dearden, Runyon, Price, and Roos. In lane 2 will be Rock Springs A-Team. They don't have names listed here. In lane 3, it'll be Lyman's A-Team with Walk, Hamblin, Parkinson, and Buskell. In lane 5, it'll be Evanston's A-Team with Larkin, Sawyer, Kendall Fernandez, and Frankie Hales. In lane 5, it'll be Lyman's B-Team with Libby Allen, Morgan Kurtz, Sarah Jensen, and Zoe Olguin. In lane 6, it'll be Lyman's C-Team with Anna Jo Short, Aliana Simmons, Elise Adams, and Jill Huntsman. What an afternoon it has been. We got started around 10 o'clock, and we have absolutely bust through it.
Place, Evanston, 145.
They're reading off scores right now.
Kemmer, 210.
The team.
Second place, Rock Springs, 230. And in first place, Lyman High School, 321.
So Lyman will win it as a team as they have 321 points right now going into the final event. Rock Springs at 230, Kemmer at 210, and Evanston at 145. But again, we talked about it with Coach AC before the meet even started. It's hard to win team titles when you don't have the numbers that a Lyman and a Rock Springs has.
Actually, it's mathematically impossible.
Yeah, exactly. Like Evanston will not compete for a team state title in the 4A. But they will compete for individual accolades, and that's really when it comes down to it. A swim team is all about having a support system as you pursue those accolades. Here we go, underway in the final event, the 400-yard freestyle relay. Jumping in for Kemmer will be Adrian Dearden out of lane 1. Lyman Kira Walk in lane 3. We don't have the name for Rock Springs in lane 2. Leah Larkin in lane 4. For Evanston, Lyman's B team sends Libby Allen in lane 5 and Anna Jo Short for Lyman in lane 6. Right now, a good lead for Lyman's A-Team, thanks to a good swim by Kira Walk. Also, Rock Springs right there, though.
So if you're watching this, everyone will swim 2 laps. That's just a 100-yard sprint for each one of them.
Final event of the day, the 400-yard freestyle relay. I want to thank you for joining us on MyLocalRadio.com, making us a part of your Saturday. This year was the first year we got to do Evanston swimming. It'll be the first of hopefully many. Lyman's A and B team neck and neck as they tag up to send in Emery Hamblin and Morgan Kurtz. Rock Springs sends their third person in there. Again, we don't have a name there. And then Kemmer sends in Nadia Runyon, while Lyman C sends in Aliana Simmons. Evanston sending in the big guns, though. Just going with Emily Sawyer. She's going to try to chase down both the Lyman B team and the Kemmer A team. Good lead for Lyman A. No surprise here if you've been paying attention. Emery Hamlin leading. But Emily Sawyer having quite a swim today. My goodness, she is going to catch the Lyman C team, and now she's got her sights set on Kemmer. She's going to pass Kemmer.
I think she is. She's right there, neck and neck.
Emily Sawyer, I think, might be the front runner for your Dr. McKay Frankham Precision Play of the game. Well, I guess we'll call it Precision Swimmer of the meet, as she has had some great performances today. Lyman A, though, sends in their third person. That's Shelby Parkinson. Lyman B now sends in Sarah Jensen. Emily Sawyer, though, has caught Lyman B, and now Kendall Fernandez will go in. Great swim by Sawyer, as a good lead being taken now by Lyman A. They're going to take this relay no problem. Lyman B, though, also in play. Keep an eye on Rock Springs, though. We don't have names for them.
Our Kemmer third swimmer has really done a great job there.
Absolutely.
She's pulled back ahead again.
Kendall Fernandez might have sensed that, as she is starting to pick up the pace a little bit more. As Brinley Buskell will tag in to finish this off for Lyman. Rock Springs getting ready to send in their.
Oh, Kendall is doing great. This is where that determination to do what they can for their team really comes out.
Listen to this. Leah Larkin, who led it off as a freshman. Emily Sawyer, who's had a great meet today, is a sophomore. Kendall Fernandez is a freshman. And Frankie Hales, who just got tagged in, a freshman. The future is bright for Red Devil girls swimming.
Oh, these girls are good.
Lyman is going to win this one, as Brinley Buskell is already almost to the 75-yard mark. Rock Springs a full length behind Brinley Buskell. She has opened it up. Good swim so far by Frankie Hales, as she has caught Lyman B, and now she's chasing Kemmer for third place. It's going to be close. She's right there at the 50-yard mark of the final leg. Brinley Buskell wins it for Lyman A with a time of 4:18:31. Now the battle for third place begins, as second place is going to go to Rock Springs. Great swim by Frankie Hales. She's got Evanston in third place. Rock Springs is going to take second place on this one. Again, we don't have who that is, but they get a time of 4:36:65, and Evanston's Frankie Hales is going to out-touch Lyman B for third place. Great swim by her, 4:45.99 for the Evanston team. Fourth place is the Lyman B relay. Fifth place will be Kemmer A, and Lyman C finishing it up right now with Jill Huntsman. As soon as Huntsman's touch, the 2020 Evanston invite will be in the books, as she is coming home, and there it is. So your results from the 400 freestyle relay. The win goes to Lyman A with a 4:18:31. Second place goes to Rock Springs A with a 4:36:65. Third place, great swims by Emily Sawyer and Frankie Hales to give Evanston the third place spot. And that is going to do it here for the Evanston invite. We've got our post-meet show. It'll be a little short one. When we come back after this, on a First Bank of Wyoming presentation of Red Devil Swim on mylocalradio.com.
For more than 10 years, the professional and friendly staff at Mountain West Business Solutions has been serving customers in Wyoming and Utah. Our professional technicians live and work in communities across both states. This way, we're able to provide quick, quality service to all of our customers. We serve businesses of all sizes, and we also provide service and supplies for HP printers. Call us today to see how we can help with all your printing and copying needs. Mountain West Business Solutions, a local company with a toll-free number, 866-583-9925.
Do you really think you can get a better deal on a vehicle in the city? Poppycock! Rocky Mountain Yeti is hungry for your business and will beat any bona fide deal on any vehicle, or they'll give it to you as a gift. Now that's legendary. Rocky Mountain Yeti Evanston. home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile legendary warranty, where legendary customer service is not a myth.
What do you do when you lose a tooth?
Put it under your pillow. Under my pillow. Like a treasure chest so you could put it in.
Why do you do that?
Because then the tooth fairy comes. For the tooth fairy. So the tooth fairy can come get them.
And then what happens?
I get money.
We may not be the tooth fairy, but we can still take care of your teeth. Bear River Dental in Evanston.
When your vehicle needs new tires, any tire store can get you back on the road. But only Plains Tire can get you rolling again with the peace of mind that you were treated well, paid a fair price, and that you'll be taken care of for the life of the tire. At Plains Tire, trained tire technicians mount and expertly balance your new tires, replace the valve stems, and hand check each lug nut to make sure it's all tight and secure. Plus, you'll get lifetime alignment checks and tire rotations only at Plains Tire, 157 Bear River Drive, Evanston. Visit plainstire.com.
Welcome back to Evanston Aquatics Center. It's time for our Jimmy John's Freaky Fast Recap, brought to you by Jimmy John's on 113 Front Street in Evanston, where fast and fresh meat. In the team scores, it is a victory for Lyman. Kemmer comes in second, Rock Springs comes in third, Evanston comes in fourth. But again, when you don't have the numbers, it's hard to win team competitions, and that's not what the essence of swimming is about. It's about going out, putting out individual performances, and having your team as a support system. It all got started today when Rock Springs kind of set the tone and let us know who Kim Abby Robinson is as they win the girls 200-yard medley relay and the 200-yard freestyle. Kira Walk tops Mackenzie Tusher from Kemmer. In the 200 IM, a great swim by Brooklyn Rasmussen. She'll take first. Morgan Kurtz stayed second. Good swim by sophomore Emily Sawyer from Evanston. She'll take third. In the 50-yard freestyle, a sub-25 second swim from Rock Springs Junior, Kim Abby Robinson. So we'll see her another year at least. The diving was won by Rock Springs. Did you have that written down by any chance? Who won the diving? Anna Sorensen from Rock Springs. Evanston's Taylor Davis takes second.
And then Kemmer Laurel Clark had third.
And for the girls' 100-yard butterfly, Kira Walk and Kendall Fernandez go head-to-head. The freshman from Evanston shows she's not afraid of anyone, but the senior from Lyman uses her experience to win that race. In the girls' 100-yard freestyle, Chloe Butcher wins it for Rock Springs. Leah Mosier takes second for the Tigers, and Emery Hamlin, third place for Lyman. In the 500-yard freestyle, Shelby Parkinson takes first. Frankie Hales takes second, and Jill Huntsman. Or actually, no, Leah Larkin, I remember, she out-touched Jill Huntsman.
She did.
For third. In the girls' 200-yard freestyle relay, it was Rock Springs who, with a great swim from Abby Kim Robinson, and that was impressive. If you remember when Robinson went in, Rock Springs was in third, and she chased down everyone to bring that one home for Rock Springs. In the girls' 100-yard backstroke, Brinley Buskell tops Addison Fernandez out of Evanston. In the 100-yard breaststroke, that was probably the most exciting race we've seen all day. Brinley Buskell and Kim Abby Robinson going neck and neck all the way to the finish. It'll be Buskell who comes out on top of Robinson. Evanston sophomore Emily Sawyer, though, wins the race inside the race to take third place. And the final event, the girls' 400-yard freestyle, easily won by Lyman's A-team. Second place goes to Rock Springs A-team. But great swims from Leah Larkin, Emily Sawyer, Frankie Hales, and Kendall Fernandez to take third. That was your Jimmy John's Freaky Fast Recap, brought to you by Jimmy John's on 113 Front Street in Evanston, where they spend 6 hours daily slicing all natural meats and fresh produce for your 30-second sandwich. We'll be right back after this with our final reactions from the 2020 Evanston Invite at the Evanston Aquatics Center on mylocalradio.com.
America keeps moving, and Auto Farm Chevrolet is here to help you keep rolling. Whether you need a brand new vehicle or service on one you already own, Auto Farm Chevrolet is here to lend a helping hand. Our certified mechanics are knowledgeable, and our sales team takes the time to get to know you and what your needs are. Stop in today, Auto Farm Chevrolet, 624 Front Street, Evanston. Evanston's community-driven dealer.
In May of 2019, Uintah County School District Number 1 became the first school district in Wyoming to achieve a certified Level 1 on high reliability schools by the Rosanna Leadership Center. We're focusing on 3 levels. Level 1 is a safe and collaborative culture. Level 2, effective teaching in every classroom. And Level 3 is a guaranteed and viable curriculum. We are certified Level 1 in safe and collaborative culture. This is Superintendent Ryan Thomas. Congratulations to everyone in our district. Keep up the great work.
Uintah County School District Number 1, Pathway to Excellence.
Evanston Regional Hospital is an affiliate of the University of Utah Health. Our partnership builds on a long tradition of collaboration between Evanston Regional Hospital and University of Utah Health. Inside these doors, our dedicated staff is committed to being your caring partner in your healthcare journey. Whether you need an MRI or surgery, are expecting a new baby, or you're having a heart attack, Evanston Regional Hospital is here to help. Evanston Regional Hospital. Healing begins here.
If you can't give your dentist a 5-star rating, then you ought to consider making your next dental appointment with Dr. McKay Frankham. One patient said, "The best experience I've ever had at a dentist." Other customer comments include 5 stars plus. And not only is Dr. Frankham the best dentist I've ever been to, but I can actually afford to have dental work done by Dr. Frankham. Make your next dental visit a 5-star experience. Call for an appointment today at 307-789-8910.
Welcome back one more time to Evanston Aquatics Center. Elan off alongside Elmo Smith, bringing you the action from the 2020 Evanston Invite. If you're just joining us, do yourself a favor. Pause it, rewind it, and watch the whole thing from top to bottom. It was only about an hour and a half. Doesn't take that much out of your day. It was great sports, great entertainment. I was so glad to be here to cover it here with you, Elmo.
We had some amazing athletes we've seen today. Obviously some athletes that will go on and swim for many years to come. But wonderful effort, individual efforts. As you mentioned earlier, we had the race inside the race, and several times those were the times that was worth being here to see this.
Absolutely, and there's nothing like being here in person, but if you can't, that's why we do it here on My Local Radio. I feel privileged to be able to be here to do things like this, and this just adds to one of the many reasons I love my job, is seeing great performance from great athletes. Let's go ahead and talk about what's coming up for Evanston activities in the next week. On Monday, it'll be the first practice for basketball, girls 7th grade, boys swimming 7th grade, and wrestling 7th grade for middle school. That'll all start at 3 o'clock on Monday, October 19th. Tuesday, we have a Evanston High School choir concert starting at 6 o'clock at Evanston High School Gymnasium. On Friday, October 23rd, 2020, we will have a conference championship meet for girls swimming in Rock Springs. So a lot of these athletes will be in action there. And then at 6 o'clock, we have the football finale at K. Fackrell Stadium starting at 6 o'clock. Pre-game show will start at 5:15 on KNYN and mylocalradio.com. Kickoff at 6 o'clock. We got one more thing to do before we call it a day, and that's give out our Dr. McKay Frankham Precision. It says play the game, but we're going to call it Swimmer of the Meet. And Elmo, you and I were talking about it during the break, and I think there's many places you could go, but one swimmer in particular stood out to me, and that's sophomore Emily Sawyer.
Emily, in her breaststroke, she did an amazing job swimming against two truly, I would say they're going to be All-Americans, and they took first and second. That was a great race to watch. But to see Emily come in and get third behind those two, what a tremendous extra effort she gave to outtouch 2 other swimmers.
And those 2 swimmers were older than her.
Yes.
I mean, she's only a sophomore, so she's just getting started. And then, of course, you also look at the performance. She put in one race later. I mean, 100-yard breaststroke tires you out. And then one race later, she comes in the second leg of the 400-yard freestyle relay and really put Evanston in position in order to finish on the podium in that event.
Yeah, she just caught swimmer after swimmer as she came from behind and just did an amazing job. And to think that she put that same effort in the race immediately prior to that. What an effort. What a great swimmer. What a great kid.
So congratulations to Emily Sawyer. She actually just walked on to the camera view. Anyway, congratulations to Emily Sawyer, your recipient of the Dr. McKay Frankum Precision Swimmer of the Meet, brought to you by McKay Frankum Dental Services. Family dental services at affordable rates. Call 307-789-8910 today. Before we wrap it up, Elmo, some closing thoughts from you on what we saw. I think it was a great morning of swimming.
This was a great morning of swimming. I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much for letting me share this time with you. What a great event. The girls swimming has typically been watched by family members and close friends, but now that you've got this out where everybody can get it, more people need to know that this is available, because this is a really good event, and the girls need to know that they have some of that support.
Absolutely, and this is the final girls swimming broadcast of the year 2020, but we'll be back in 2021. We want to do some boys swimming. That'll get started as a winter event. Only reason we can't announce dates yet is because we have to balance it, of course, around other commitments. The basketball season, as we bring great coverage of Red Devil basketball. So as soon as we get the dates for the boys swim meet, we will let you know on My Local Radio Sports, as well as the Pitchfork, which you can catch on KNYN every Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. and KADQ at 4:30 p.m. Well, that's going to do it for our coverage of the 2020 Evanston Invite. Thank you so much for tuning in. On behalf of my broadcast partner, Elmo Smith, I'm Elan Allsing. We'll see you next time the ball flies, which will be Friday when the Evanston football team wraps up the 2020 season against Powell. Kickoff at 6 o'clock, pregame show at 5:15 on K9 and My Local Radio. Thank you so much, and take care.
You've been tuned to a First Bank of Wyoming presentation of Evanston High School Sports on KNYN 99.1 FM with video online at mylocalradio.com. Today's special presentation of Evanston Sports has been brought to you by Auto Farm Chevrolet, Dr. McKay Frankum DDS, West Star Printing, T-Bar S Body Shop, The Best Western Dunmar Inn and Legal Tender Restaurants, Hoover Chiropractic, Mountain West Business Solutions, the Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Bureau, Rocky Mountain Yeti, Jen's Life Photography, Evanston Regional Hospital, the Come On in Casper, Rocky Mountain Sign, Bear River Dental, Plains Tire, Uinta County School District Number 1, Ellingford Brothers, and by Freeway Tire. The preceding is a wholly owned production of MyLocalRadio.com and Cook Brothers Broadcasting, no portion of which may be used or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Old West Media Incorporated. Our executive producer is Val Cook. We'd also like to thank Office Manager Kayleen Anderson and our Sales Manager Julie Burley, along with Rich's Matthew Peterson and the Valley's Cullen Holt, and Production Assistant Alyssa McDaniel. Biggest thanks to our sponsors and to you for tuning in. We invite you to visit mylocalradio.com for archived games and past interviews with Red Devil players and coaches. Like My Local Radio Sports on Facebook and stay up to date with all the games and information. Thank you for joining us on this First Bank of Wyoming presentation of Evanston Red Devil Sports on KNYN 99.1 FM and on mylocalradio.com. Until next time, go Devils!